See for yourself at descoinc.com.
Discover your next great experience at Kane Center for the Arts, where art and community come alive. From stunning gallery exhibits to captivating live performances, we're here to inspire, connect, and celebrate the arts. Visit kanearts.org.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Good morning and welcome to Heart Mooresville, your small town radio show with a big heart. I'm your host, Christine Patterson, here to bring you all the Mooresville news and happenings. And back by popular demand, she was born and raised in Mooresville. She's an arts and events extraordinaire. Please welcome guest host Amy Sherrill.
Hello.
Thanks for
Glad
coming
to be back. Thank you.
You get to drop in from time to time.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I love it.
I appreciate it. I'm excited to talk to everyone. We also have two special guests today. We have a very important event coming up that we want to tell our listeners about. So we have two guests from the Mooresville Police Department, Sergeant Michael Fisher and Sergeant Brian Plyler. Thanks for joining us this morning.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
So we're going to get into National, Police Week is next week. We're going to talk about a memorial event that's coming up. So lots of things to talk about. But before we do, I want to talk about Mother's Day. So do y'all know Mother's Day is coming up, right?
Yeah, get ready.
So it's on your radar, right?
What day was that?
Okay, so you're scaring me. Okay, no, it's Sunday, this Sunday, May 11th, right? So if you have, mothers in your life, you need to make sure that you're telling them thank you and honoring them. So, what's your ideal Mother's Day? Are you the I just want a day to myself type of girl, or are you like, I want to make memories with the kids? And what is a good day for you?
I'm kind of torn because I have two boys away at college. One's still at home, so they're all coming home this week. So I want to spend some time with them, but also just want some time alone. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
And obviously spend time with mom and mom. So I'm a little torn. I think 50-50 for me.
Yeah. I think mine changes every year. Like sometimes I want to do something. I want to go somewhere. I want to go to the beach or make a memory. But then sometimes I'm like, I just need a day to myself. And
tired,
can the kids just leave me alone for Mother's Day, please?
Dad, take the kids for a couple hours.
Yes. Well, I am going to help everyone out. So if you haven't gotten your Mother's Day gifts yet, I am going to tell you how to plan the perfect Mooresville Lake Norman Mother's Day, okay? We have a lot of great places in Mooresville that you can shop and activities that you can do. So here we go. So you can start the day by taking mom to breakfast. We have tons of great breakfast options in Mooresville. So there's Famous Toastery, which has locations in Mooresville, Davidson, Huntersville. There's Fresh Chef Kitchen. Thank you, Bill. Fresh Egg in Cornelius. Rise Cafe.
Yes.
Lots of options. You can also take mom shopping, okay? Most of us women love to shop. Yes. We have awesome shopping experiences in downtown Mooresville. There's shops like Alley Oop Culture Exchange, Southern Sass, Sue's Soap Shop. We also have Bliss by the Lake, which is over on the 28117 side. Lots of shopping options. There's also Burkdale Village and Nina's Boutique. And then you have South Main Street in Davidson. Downtown Davidson has actually a lot of great shops.
They have a lot of cool little shops there.
Yeah, it's
sure.
grown. Then get outdoors with mom. We have 17 parks in Mooresville.
17.
That's right.
Accurate.
17 parks. Liberty Park, Bellingham Park, Mazeppa, Cornelius Road Park. It's a great day. I think it's going to be beautiful weather. Take mom out for a stroll. Enjoy one of our 17 beautiful parks. Lake Norman is also home to tons of trails and greenways. You have Jeton Park, Ramsey Creek Park. You can even rent boats and jet skis.
Yes.
So that's what I want, I think, this Mother's Day.
I would like that too.
Yeah, go out on a boat and maybe do a
Just
little
float.
tanning. Yeah.
Maybe a few cocktails.
Maybe a few cocktails. Yeah, I like that. And then lastly, end your day with taking mom to dinner. Again, lots of great options for dinner. Downtown Mooresville, Epic Chop House. There's Jeffrey's, lakefront restaurants like Hello Sailor, North Harbor Club, Port City Club. You have Kindred in Davidson, the Waterman Fish Bar in Cornelius, Peninsula Prime. The options are endless. So there you have it.
No excuses.
No
Options.
excuses. You have
options.
all of these great options for Mother's Day. I've given you like 15 things. So it's up to you now, okay? And all of these
ready?
places have gift cards, just so you know. So if you are working that day or, not available, everyone offers gift cards.
Yes. I love gift cards. Get what I want,
There was an interesting survey that put out that was like moms ranked their top 5 experiences of what they wanted for Mother's Day. And I thought it was sweet. The first one was quality time with loved ones. So it does seem like the majority of moms do just want to spend time with, with their loved ones. So there's lots of, opportunities that we just talked about to get out and have a meal or go spend some time outdoors in a park. All right. So we always like to keep our listeners informed with news that is going on in the area for our In the News segment. All right, so I've been scanning the headlines, so you don't have to. Here are the top things going on. Carolina Renaissance Festival. Have you ever been to the Carolina Renaissance Festival?
I've been a couple times. Great time.
I'm a big fan.
Yes.
You guys ever been?
Yeah, I've been.
Okay.
I think
Do you dress
actually,
up?
I think Christine, I was like, you dress up, right?
I dress up. I love Carolina Renaissance Festival. So it's coming back. It's coming back October 4th through November 23rd. Of course, it's every Saturday and Sunday. It's the 32nd annual Carolina Renaissance Festival. Well, I didn't even know they did this, but they're actually holding auditions so you can be a dancer or a performer. I am so sorry, but I'm giving my 2 weeks notice. I'm running away with the Carolina Renaissance Festival, and I think that's my calling.
I think you can do it.
Yeah.
I've seen you sing and dance. You're pretty good at it.
I'm born to perform. No, it's going to be a lot of fun. So the auditions are Saturday, May 31st. They're from 9 to 12. And then also on Saturday, June 7th from 9 to 12. And they're at the Bonnie Cone Leadership Academy. That is on Poplar Tent Road. You can audition if you are 13 years or older. And you can find out more information at carolina.renfestinfo.com. So if you are interested and you feel like you're born to perform as well, get in on the action and find out more information about how to be a performer at Carolina Renaissance Festival. Also, we just had a, groundbreaking or ribbon cutting for the new Duke Health Hospital, formerly Lake Norman Regional Medical Center. And they actually just named their new president. So Christy Barazu is the new Chief Operating Officer for Duke Health Lake Norman Hospital. And she'll be responsible for overseeing all of the management and operational performances for the hospital. She actually comes to us from Duke University Hospital and has over 20 years of experience. So welcome, Christy, to the Mooresville community.
I love that. I love Duke.
I know.
All things Duke. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely. Yes, because you have a kid at Duke, don't you?
I do not.
No?
He's not.
You just love Duke?
Yes. I've just always loved Duke.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm not a Carolina fan. I'm a Duke fan.
Okay, so Duke.
It's one or the other.
Are you Duke? Carolina, do we have any Duke fans?
However, I should pull for NC State because that's where my son
That's
goes.
where
That's where my money goes.
That's right. That's right. Lots of investment there. Also, Christian Mission just opened their brand new facility. Christian Mission is in its 85th year. So they have, we have benefited from this organization, our community, for 85 years now. And they have a well-deserved new location. That new location is 919 North Main Street in Mooresville. They will offer all of their, current services and even more services in their new space, which is larger. NC Works Career Center will be able to operate out of that new space, as well as Iredell County Partnership for Young Children. They were able to prevent 810 individuals from becoming homeless last year. So super, super excited for them. Congratulations. All right, we'll be right back with more from Heart Mooresville after the break.
Stay in the know with all things Mooresville. Heart Mooresville continues next on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight. Temperatures will cool off into the low 50s around Lake Norman overnight. Nice cool start to your Tuesday morning and a warm afternoon. Dry, too. We'll see plenty of sunshine. A couple of clouds mixed in and warm into the upper 70s. Low 50s on the way again for your Tuesday night. Mid and upper 70s for Wednesday. We'll bring back an isolated shower chance again by Thursday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Ready to roll, race fans? Swing by Harrison's in Mooresville and register in person for your chance to choose your race. 3 winners, First place picks first. Will it be the Coca-Cola 600 with pre-race passes, the BetMGM 300, or the North Carolina Education Lottery 200? Register now through May 15th at Harrison's, the Southeast leader in Carhartt, Ariat, and Western wear. Winners announced live on the Home Ad Show. Lake Norman Woman is proud to sponsor the Mother's Day Commons Market at Birkdale Village with Shop Local QC. Join us Sunday, May 11th from 11 to 4 at the Plaza for live music. Free photos with Mom from 12 to 1 and over 30 amazing local vendors. Don't miss it. Pulp Juice and Smoothie Bar in Cornelius is open for business. Drop into 9623 Bailey Road in Cornelius for a healthy smoothie today. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday night with a performance by My Better Half. After the concert on Saturday, come back to the club on Sunday to celebrate with a Mother's Day brunch. Golfing, entertainment, and honoring Mom are all at the 500 Club in Statesville this weekend. Peninsula Community Foundation is holding a volunteer fair on Thursday, May 8th. Join us at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. as over 20 nonprofits offer volunteer opportunities for all ages. Learn about volunteering in your community at the Volunteer Fair Thursday, May 8th at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius. From everyone here at WSIC Radio, we wish you a happy Mother's Day this Sunday. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Caregiving can be overwhelming, but fear not. Equity Health Primary Care is here to help. They specialize in personalized care for your loved ones. In clinic, at home, or virtually, they provide support, understanding, and resources to make the journey a little easier. Visit equityhealthcares.com.
Nelson Royals has top brands like Justin and Ariat, from work to western wear, boots, and saddlery. Nelson Royals has it all. Mention WSIC and get 15% off your purchase. Visit Nelson Royals on Highway 150 in Mooresville or shop online at nelsonroyals.com.
I Heart Mooresville. Ooh, we should put that on a t-shirt. Sorry, New York. 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Welcome back to I Heart Mooresville Police Edition. We are talking with Sergeant Plyler and Fisher today of the Mooresville Police Department. Again, thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for your service to our community. And thank you for the time, because I know you guys are busy, and we appreciate you taking the time to come talk to us. So first, just tell everyone your name and how long you've been with the department.
I'm Brian Plyler. I've been with the Mooresville Police Department for 14 years.
And what's your title?
I'm a sergeant over logistics.
Okay.
And I am Mike Fisher. I have also been here 14 years, and I am a sergeant over road patrol.
Okay. Well, so I want to understand I love asking people how they ended up in Mooresville, because most people are not from Mooresville. Amy is a unicorn here. I find a lot of more and more of our residency have, come from out of town. So Sergeant Fisher, how did you end up in Mooresville?
Google.
Wow. Really?
My wife and I were, when we were done with school in Michigan, we were looking for something different. And Charlotte kept popping up and places to be for young couples. And so we came down here in 2010.
Nice. So you're from Detroit?
Yeah, just south of Detroit. Yep.
Okay. So you were looking for somewhere, you graduated from school, looking for somewhere that you could raise a family, end up in Mooresville.
Yep.
I love that. And I think that story is probably a lot of people's story, just looking for a nice community. What was appealing about it to you?
It was a lot of stuff to do, like an hour and a half from the mountains, not far from the beach. And the economy was
right.
a lot better here than it was up there. So
yeah, absolutely.
Those were the biggest draws.
Okay. And what about you, Sergeant Plyler?
Mine's actually a similar story, a generation earlier. My parents moved us down here from western PA, north of Pittsburgh, and similar reasons, that the area was growing. There was a lot of economic opportunity, a lot of things for the families to do. And I grew up in the southern Iredell County area most of my life.
Okay. So what inspired you to be in law enforcement? Was that something that, you wanted as a child, or?
No,
evolved?
I actually kind of fell into this career when I got released from active duty from the Marine Corps. I was looking for some structure and some way to continue to serve that was more local to where I was from, and this was an excellent fit.
Absolutely. And a lot of our officers are, ex-military. I think that's kind of the natural, progression when a lot of soldiers get out. And again, thank you for your service. What about you, Sergeant
Similar.
Fisher?
I got out of the Army in 2006 and went to school, and then same kind of thing. Just the service aspect of your life is something you miss.
Absolutely. So what do you feel like what do you love about being a Mooresville police officer?
There's a lot. I think right now is the community is like there's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of good interaction. It's not just bad interaction. So it's fun. Like your day to day is actually pretty fun. So.
Yeah. Get to connect with community. I love that.
I would have to echo that. The Mooresville community in general is just great. You can't go anywhere without getting a smile and a thank you for your service in Mooresville. There's so much positive interaction with being a police officer there that you talk to officers in other agencies that they do not have that same interaction with their public. So I'm very grateful to work where I work.
Yeah, I love that about the Mooresville community, that we really support our officers and
A
grateful.
close-knit community,
Yeah.
Supportive.
I love
Absolutely.
that. It's one of the many great things about the Mooresville community. Also love that everywhere you go, you meet a friend. We definitely have that Southern hospitality thing down pat, right?
Yeah.
So next week is an important week. It's National Police Week, and Mooresville hosts a ceremony every year in recognition of that. Next week's event will be on Tuesday, May 13th at 9 a.m. on Town Hall Lawn, which is 413 North Main Street, Mooresville. Obviously, the community is invited to help honor and remember our fallen law enforcement officers. Breakfast will also be served directly following the ceremony in the Town Hall lobby. Now, National Police Week, actually, it's observed every May, and it includes Peace Officers Memorial Day, which is on May 15th. So, lots of recognition that week. And it's a day to honor officers who have, been killed in the line of duty. I was interested to see, I didn't realize that this had been going on since 1962. Actually, President John F. Kennedy started the ceremony, and it's grown into this national movement to be able to support our law enforcement officers and families. Communities across the country, including Mooresville, hold memorials and tributes to recognize the sacrifices and service of police officers. And it's really just a time of, to reflect and on the courage that it takes to protect and serve. So I love that we get to host this event in Mooresville, and Town Hall, I think, is an appropriate place to do that. I just want to share some statistics before we get into some of the questions I want to ask you all. There are currently 660,000 full-time law enforcement officers serving in the U.S. That's a lot. That number is
Yes.
huge. The average police officer works 40 to 50 hours per week, and obviously those schedules are unpredictable and, can be on nights and weekends. Since records began, about 25,000 U.S. law enforcement officers have died in the line of duty. I just thought that number was staggering.
Yes.
And definitely makes you reflect and think about that. In North Carolina, in the U.S. in 2023, 136 officers died in the line of duty. North Carolina has had over 550 law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty since records began. So those numbers are huge. Of course, that includes, gunfire, vehicle crashes, medical emergencies, but it, definitely, makes you aware of the risks of that job and, makes us extra grateful for, your choice to serve the community. So this specific event that will honor 3 fallen officers that were killed in the line of duty in Mooresville. Who were those officers?
You had Chief Rimmer
Lieutenant Barger,
and Officer Sheldon.
And Officer Sheldon. So why do you think it's important to honor our officers that have fallen in Mooresville and kind of keep that memory alive?
I personally think about that question a lot, actually, but it's twofold to me. One is that They say that you die twice. Once when you die, and the second time when the last person speaks your name.
Mm.
These memorial services are a way to speak about what those officers did sacrifice and to remember them and to keep them alive. The second to me is for the families that offered the same sacrifice but live with that sacrifice to honor them.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with what he said. I think that for me, the important part is the people that are still here, the families and the, whether they had kids or wives or like that to me is the most important part because they don't feel like they've been forgotten.
Absolutely. And what are some of the ways that, we honor them, not just at this event, but throughout the year?
Well, Mooresville's done it like with Officer Sheldon, there's always, you see shirts, you see, there's always something that reminds you of them. And it's nice to see because like you'll be in the middle of summer and you'll see someone with a Sheldon's Canine shirt.
Yeah.
And it just makes you like, okay, everyone still knows and it's still out there. There's a lot of businesses that do, small fundraisers. And I mean, so there's always the reminder from the community, which is great for us as friends of his.
And you mentioned Sheldon's canine. So obviously Officer Sheldon did have a canine. His name was? Ramon. And so tell me about Sheldon's canines. Does it raise money for Officer Sheldon?
They do. I know they do a college scholarship for people getting into law enforcement through Mitchell Community College. They also did the dog park, which they named in honor of him over at Cornelius Road Park, since you were talking about parks earlier.
Yes.
So those are the two main things that I'm aware of. But I know it's operated outside of the police department. It's operated by,
of course.
So
they also have a huge hand in medical and expenses for retired canines, which is something that isn't brought up a whole lot. But when a canine retires from service, that dog is actually technically sold to the handler for the business transaction side of things. But at that time, those medical expenses are then incurred by the officer. Sheldon's Canines does a lot in aiding those officers that have retired canines in their end of life.
I recently learned that about the canines. I didn't realize that we actually retired some of the canines, the dogs. I thought that was really interesting, and I think we have some coming up, some dog retirements that we'll see soon, and they can live their lives out in peace and no longer at service. We've had obviously 3 officers that have been killed in the line of duty over the last few years, but I want to talk about when we get back from the break, kind of how that's impacted the community, because obviously, all of those events were, tragic in their own right. And obviously that's never an easy thing, but I know Officer Sheldon specifically just really rocked the community. And so we'll get into more of that when we get back from the break.
Stay in the know with all things Mooresville. Heart Mooresville continues next on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight. Temperatures will cool off into the low 50s around Lake Norman overnight. Nice cool start to your Tuesday morning and a warm afternoon. Dry, too. We'll see plenty of sunshine. A couple of clouds mixed in and warm into the upper 70s. Low 50s on the way again for your Tuesday night. Mid and upper 70s for Wednesday. We'll bring back an isolated shower chance again by Thursday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Hi, This is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Race fans, start your engines. Head to Harrison's in Mooresville and register to choose your race. Will you win tickets to the Coca-Cola 600 with pre-race passes, the BetMGM 300, or the NC Education Lottery 200? 3 winners, first place picks first. Register by May 15th. Winners announced live on the Home Ad Show. Head on over to Harrison's, your local leader in Carhartt, Ariat, and Western wear, and tune in every Sunday to WSIC, Lake Norman's home for NASCAR.
Babe, dinner's ready.
Ladies.
Babe, dinner's ready.
Ever feel like your husband just isn't listening?
Dinner's ready.
Maybe he just can't hear.
Babe.
It's time to turn up the volume on life. Beltone in Mooresville and Cornelius can help with a free hearing test and expert solutions tailored for you. Call 877-HEAR-123 today. That's 877-HEAR-123. Don't wait. Call 877-432-7123 and bring back the sound of love.
Get ready, baseball fans. The Harbor Hippos are here to make a splash this summer. Catch the action starting May 30th at Huntersville Athletic Park. Season, group, or single tickets are now available. Head over to www.harborhippos.com to get your tickets and gear today. Don't miss out.
Is your yard ready for a refresh? Drum Landscape Supply has over 10 types of mulch, beautiful boulders, decorative gravel, and a unique plant nursery bursting with shrubs, trees, and perennials. Call today for up to 70% off pavers and stone. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com today.
Nelson Royals has top brands like Justin and Ariat, from work to western wear, boots, and saddlery. Nelson Royals has it all. Mention WSIC and get 15% off your purchase. Visit Nelson Royals on Highway 150 in Mooresville or shop online at nelsonroyals.com.
Need a ride? iCats has you covered. Tuesdays to the VA in Salisbury, Thursday to Winston-Salem, and Fridays to Hickory. Plus, run errands every day around Iredell County for just $1. Visit rideicats.com.
Special buy Randy Marion Chevrolet of Statesville and Randy Marion Chevrolet of Mooresville 2024 brand new Chevrolet Malibus. These are the LTs starting at $19,988. That's right, $19,988 brand new. Not a pre-owned car. Malibu starting at $19,988. That's right, Statesville Chevy, Mooresville Chevy. Come see us today. Pick the color, drive it home. You got it. King of price, king of deals. Randy Marion Chevrolet of Statesville, Randy Marion Mooresville.
Number one for talk in Lake Norman, Statesville.
1059, 100.7 WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The U.S. trade deficit in goods and services set a record in March as tariffs loomed. American businesses put the pedal to the metal, rushing inbound foreign shipments to beat the White House levies aimed at attacking trade imbalances. Imports of consumer goods set a record in March, led by pharmaceuticals. Auto imports also increased, as did shipments of business and industrial equipment. Bloomberg Economics sees the tidal wave of imports ebbing, citing a decline in cargo containers from China that started in mid-April. The Federal Reserve opens its two-day meeting today to mull over interest rates, but policymakers are not expected to make a move when the discussions wrap up tomorrow. Meanwhile, Pepsi is reorganizing its sports and entertainment partnership teams as it sets its sight on the World Cup. The snacking giant is shifting the teams into one unified division across its brands, including Pepsi, Gatorade, and Lay's. The new division will focus on specific sports or topics rather than individual brands, and will also include gaming and music partnerships. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
24/7 worldwide, non-stop.
WSIC.
Local starts here. Call now to speak with iHeart Mooresville hosts Christine Patterson and Don Smile at 844-STUDIO-4. It's iHeart Mooresville on WSIC.
We're back with iHeart Mooresville, your small town radio show with a big heart. I'm your host, Christine Patterson, and we are talking with Sergeants Plyler and Fisher. Again, thanks for joining us this morning. We're talking a little bit about an upcoming police memorial event that we have for National Police Week, and that honors our 3 fallen officers that we've had over the years in Mooresville. Specifically talking about the most recent fallen officer that happened on May 4th, 2019, Officer Jordan Sheldon, and how that impacted the community. Amy, our guest host, was born and raised in Mooresville, and has sure seen a lot over the years. What was that impact of Officer Sheldon's death like?
Personally, I just remember the overwhelming support from the community. I remember when at the old PD station, one Mooresville Center now, the car, everyone that came out and supported Officer Sheldon, and it was just overwhelming support. Still to this day, I feel like the town and the citizens support obviously Officer Sheldon, but that's what I remember most.
I think as a community in Mooresville, and we've been talking about that a lot, is how Mooresville really supports its officers, and even people that didn't know Officer Sheldon were super kind of affected by this incident.
It just hit home with everyone,
and I'm sure people that it affected people that didn't know him. It affected people that did know him, and I can't imagine how it impacted his fellow officers that he served with. But I'm sure there were impacts, beyond obviously emotional ones, even with the department. And so what did that look like?
I think a lot of what it did initially and then has carried on since was it kind of changed our perspective on our day-to-day job. I mean, you hear about it, you read about it, but then when it happens inside your own house, pretty much, it really raised our awareness and our in how we dealt with certain things. And I think it just kept people just kind of was, I don't want to say a wake up call, but it really did how you approach your training, how you approach your get with your family, all kinds of different things in your life.
Absolutely. And what about you? Did you see any impacts in the department after that?
Well, shortly after that, I was moved into the role that I currently have as a logistics sergeant, and I play a major role in what type of equipment we purchase, and a lot of our decisions in new and improved equipment are derived from that tragedy. Trying to get officers the best ballistic protection we can, get every tactical advantage we can with technology and equipment to try to mitigate that as best we can.
Right. Yeah, a lot of changes after that, but I think positive changes that help keep everyone safe. Of course, we kind of have seen that across the board over the last 5 years. Mooresville's continuing. We see that with road closures that we've had recently. So I think out of tragedy sometimes can come positive. Obviously, we never want that to happen. But for the specific event on May 13th. If people, how is this? It's open to the public. Can people come?
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, it's outside. It's right there at Town Hall. So yeah, it's absolutely open to the public. And I mean, every year there's always a crowd. So it's good for us to see the community still come out, and officers. Most of us will be there, other than the ones that are currently working. And so yeah, it's nice to see the community still turn out for something like that.
So again, that is the National Police Week ceremony on Tuesday, May 13th at 9 a.m. on Town Hall lawn. It is open to the public. Breakfast will be served and in Town Hall directly following the event. And the event is to remember our fallen officers in Mooresville that have happened over the years. All right. Well, thank you both for joining us today. So we have some other events coming up in May that we like to talk about and keep everyone informed. The end of the month, Memorial Day event is coming up. We also have Rock the Park that has started. We kicked off May 2nd. So an awesome event. Now, were either of you out at Liberty Park for Rock the Park?
I was not.
Have you worked a Rock the Park show before?
Do you guys like that?
Yeah. If you look on the roof, we're usually the guys on the roof.
Okay. Yeah. So Rock the Park, the TAM's amazing show.
It was a good time. I think everyone had a great time.
It was very well attended too.
Everyone was ready to get out and enjoy some music, and
we had definitely had a big crowd. I think so. Next month on June 6th, who do we have?
I always butcher their name, but I think it's Crucia Faya.
That's why I made you say it. I'm torturing Amy. It's Crucial Faya.
Crucia Faya.
It's a reggae band.
Yes, we're excited.
So we are doing our first ever Caribbean night at Rock the Park, and we will invite the community to come out. We have food trucks and breweries and of course, great music. Games. We'll have vendors. Yeah, games. Our sponsors are out there. So that is on June 6th. And then July 11th, we will have a Fleetwood Mac Tribute Band. July, we also have August show, which is a special show, and we are not announcing till June 28th because we'll have a special platinum recording artist that's coming on June 28th. We'll be able to announce the name, but I can give you a hint. It's a classic rock artist, so we'll be able to announce that soon. We also will end the show in September, on September 5th, with a Jimmy Buffett tribute.
Yes.
So it's a good lineup.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of...
It's a variety this year.
Absolutely.
We're excited about that.
So we also have this, I guess the end of summer, Bands, Brews, and Barbecue Festival. So our end of summer kind of blowout, really. I mean,
It's our biggest
event
of the year, right?
Yeah. We have up to 15,000 people that come to this event. Of course, it's in Liberty Park. We also have a national recording artist for that show that we can also announce at the end of June. So we have lots of
like teasers.
Yeah, lots of teasers, but lots of national recording artists coming up. We always love to, bring these high quality experiences to the downtown area, so people don't have to go to Charlotte and see music. If they want to, see some good music, they can see it right here in their own community. And of course, those events, we would not be able to put those events on without the support of our police officers. You all have been instrumental in helping us grow those events over the last few years. I would say it really started with the 150th anniversary.
Yes.
Which everybody's has like PTSD. I feel like from
don't say it.
Which was super, super positive and great that we were able to, involve the community in this huge celebration and this important milestone. But it was also like a busy year
for everyone.
Everyone was tired at the end of the year. But when I look back at the photos and especially community coming out and, enjoying these events, I was like, okay, well, it was worth it. Everyone really, really enjoyed those opportunities. But we did only choose to keep like 3 signature events from that signature event lineup because we felt like that was a little more manageable than 7 signature events throughout the year. And I can't imagine. I mean, I look at where we were 3 years ago.
We came a long way.
Yeah, and where we are today.
We've learned a lot, for sure.
We have, and the Mooresville Police Department was such an instrumental part of that, with crowd control and making security, right, street closures,
traffic management. I mean, you name it.
You
guys were involved.
Consulting on vendor locations. So I know Mooresville hosts a lot, whether it's Ray City Festival, and of course there are great events in Mooresville that aren't hosted by the town of Mooresville. But what's your favorite event to work in Mooresville
so far?
Favorite event to work? I enjoy the food truck festival is always one of my favorite.
Okay, your food truck.
There's one of those every
food
month.
Truck guy.
Yeah, those are fun.
You get a lot of people, and it's a calmer atmosphere. I feel like it's not like as rushed and. There is more interaction because people just hanging out eating.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I liked working that one. The big concerts, so we've had some fun with those. Like what was the artist that was there?
Oh, Jody Messina,
country artist.
Yeah, country.
Oh, Jody Messina.
Craig Morgan.
Craig Morgan. That's what I'm thinking of. That was a fun one.
That was fun. He went to Richard's Coffee Shop and he was a veteran himself. Yep. That was a fun one. What about you?
Actually, that Craig Morgan concert that was my favorite one because we got to watch some of it, but there was a lot of things we had to do in the police department for security that me and Mike were both heavily involved in. That we got to plan a lot of that, and it worked out really well. So that was
okay.
That was
Looks like we have to bring Craig Morgan back to Mooresville.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to talk more about events going on in Mooresville and what's coming up right after the break.
There's more iHeart Mooresville on the way from 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, a partly cloudy sky overnight. Temperatures will cool off into the low 50s around Lake Norman overnight. Nice cool start to your Tuesday morning and a warm afternoon. Dry, too. We'll see plenty of sunshine. A couple of clouds mixed in and warm into the upper 70s. Low 50s on the way again for your Tuesday night. Mid and upper 70s for Wednesday. We'll bring back an isolated shower chance again by Thursday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Ready to roll, race fans? Swing by Harrison's in Mooresville and register in person for your chance to choose your race. 3 winners. First place picks first. Will it be the Coca-Cola 600 with pre-race passes, the Bet MGM 300, or the North Carolina Education Lottery 200? Register now through May 15th at Harrison's, the Southeast leader in Carhartt, Ariat, and Western wear. Winners announced live on the Home Ad Show. Lake Norman Woman is proud to sponsor the Mother's Day Commons Market at Birkdale Village with Shop Local QC. Join us Sunday, May 11th from 11 to 4 at the Plaza for live music. Free photos with Mom from 12 to 1 and over 30 amazing local vendors. Don't miss it. Pulp Juice and Smoothie Bar in Cornelius is open for business. Drop into 9623 Bailey Road in Cornelius for a healthy smoothie today. The 500 Club in Statesville presents live music on Saturday night with a performance by My Better Half. After the concert on Saturday, come back to the club on Sunday to celebrate with a Mother's Day brunch. Golfing, entertainment, and honoring Mom are all at the 500 Club in Statesville this weekend. Peninsula Community Foundation is holding a volunteer fair on Thursday, May 8th. Join us at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. as over 20 nonprofits offer volunteer opportunities for all ages. Learn about volunteering in your community at the Volunteer Fair Thursday, May 8th at Bethel Presbyterian Church in Cornelius. From everyone here at WSIC Radio, we wish you a happy Mother's Day this Sunday. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Looking good, Mooresville. I mean, you're sitting at that traffic light too. Might as well be looking at something. iHeart Mooresville continues now on WSIC.
Welcome back to iHeart Mooresville. We're on our last segment of iHeart Mooresville today to bring you the news and what's going on. We talked about Rock the Park coming up. If you haven't been to a Rock the Park show, you need to come out. It's the first Friday of every month except July, which is the second Friday in observance of 4th of July. We want everyone to be able to continue with their 4th of July plans. Other events that are coming up in the area, May 10th, or the Race City Festival. So that's actually this Saturday. The event is 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's in downtown Mooresville. A great time. They'll have some music and food trucks and tons of local vendors and shopping.
42nd annual?
I
think
believe
it's
you're right,
42
Miss
years,
Sherrill. It
yeah.
is the 42nd annual. That's a long time to be doing.
I remember it my whole life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember not having it.
Kind of that's another signature event of Mooresville we've been doing. Kind of like the Christmas parade.
Yes.
It's one of those staples in the area. Of course, Mother's Day is this Sunday. So if you haven't made plans for Mother's Day, please do so. I gave you tons of ideas. Again, no excuses. May 13th, we've talked about it today, National Police Week Memorial Ceremony is at 9 a.m. on Town Hall Lawn. The public is open to attend that event. And then May 22nd, Spire Motorsports is actually hosting a fan day from 10 to 12 p.m. They will feature autograph signings from 10 to 12 and Spire O-Kart tournament with drivers and fans. And they have raffles and tons of games and stuff for the community to do. So if you are a motorsports fan, you can head on over to Spire Motorsports on May 22nd. And then May 26th at 10 a.m., the town of Mooresville will be hosting, and with Exchange Club, its Memorial Day ceremony at Liberty Park. And immediately following that, there will be breakfast at Richard's Coffee Shop. The Charles Mack Citizen Center is our town's convention conference center. If you have never attended an event at the Charles Mack, you have to go by. It's a beautiful venue. Although I feel like most people in Mooresville have attended like prom or a
anniversary
meeting.
wedding.
And I love hearing those stories. People are like, "Oh yes, I attended prom there, and then I had my wedding there, and now I'm back for my baby shower." And we love that. We love people using that facility. But they also host tons of community events, and so a couple of their upcoming events, May 9th and through 10th, the Masterworks is hosting the Peter Pan Jr. show. Masterworks puts on a very good show. So if you're a Peter Pan fan, tickets are on sale. May 10th is the Hobby Man Card Show. We have been hosting a lot of those cards and sports memorabilia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been pretty popular there.
Yeah, and it's a fun time. I always see stuff that I never think, you would get there. May 16th and 17th, Masterworks will be back with a Sound of Music
I love Sound of
production.
Music.
I know. We might have to get tickets to that one. But tickets are on sale for both of those shows. You can go to the Masterworks website. And then I like to always mention a couple things that are organizations that just continually have events. One is Victory Lanes Entertainment Center. They have a brewery inside of Victory Lanes called Wobbly Butt Brewery. Don loves the name
Wobbly
of that
butt.
because he says that's what happens when you drink. You get a wobbly butt, and so he loves the name of that brewery. So they are the only place that you can really truly see live comedy like every week on Wednesday. And they always have really great comedians, and a lot of them are nationally recognized comedians. And so every Wednesday evening you can go and enjoy some wobbly butt brews and see a live comedian. Also like to mention Fred and June's Books, which is located on Main Street. And Fred and June's, they host book clubs and crochet club, and
They're busy. They're always hosting events.
I
They're
mean,
awesome.
They did a book signing. I think it was this past weekend, and it was the people that run the Lake Norman Normie, the Lake Norman Monster page. So they wrote a book. It's like a children's book, and they were doing a book signing. And I'm so mad because I forgot, and I really wanted to go get an autographed copy. Have you ever heard, or have you ever got calls about the Lake Norman Monster?
I have not.
Can't say that I have.
They look so confused. They're like,
have you ever heard of it?
No.
What?
Have not. No.
yeah.
Really?
Nope.
We had a segment or a show
We
about
did.
it
So
a year ago. or
Let me
something.
inform you about
Please.
the Lake Norman Monster, Normie. So he lurks and lives in Lake Norman, and there have been many sightings. There's a whole page, like website, social media page dedicated to these sightings. So
Kind of like Bigfoot.
yeah, but Normie exists.
Normie.
Like he is real. We read the sightings sometimes on air to creepy music. But really, it's just a fun thing.
Yeah.
It's actually been featured on several television shows. Like one was it was not Animal Planet, but it was like one was a Canadian show
Really?
that came and did a story on it. There were a couple TV stations that included it, and they're like, monsters of the unknown type.
No police calls, though, I guess.
Oh.
No.
All right, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. It's not a safety hazard at this time. We're not getting calls about it. But yeah, so Fred and June's hosted them this weekend, so we'll have to reach out to them and get them on the show if we can. And then another organization is South Iredell Senior Center, which is located on the first floor of the Charles Mack Citizen Center. They have tons of activities for seniors, 65 and older, of course. Everything from pinnacle and water aerobics, crochet club, caregiver support groups, quilting
I
clubs.
see them playing bingo a lot down there, too.
Yeah, I've always said that I think our Mooresville seniors are more active than I am. They
I
are
believe that.
doing Zumba. I'm pretty sure some of them are in better shape than I am. So I hope that one day I get to go to the senior center and be as active. But lots going on there always. And of course you can go to their website and find out more, or stop in. They are again on the first floor of the Charles Mack Citizen Center. And then I want to talk about a story. I didn't include it in our first in the news segment because I wanted to have some discussion about 3D printing. Okay, so there is a Starbucks store in Texas that recently 3D printed a store. I mean, a store
I'm still
now
trying to wrap
has
my
been
brain around
3D
that.
printed. So. First of all, have you seen the rise of 3D printing?
Yes.
Do either of you own a 3D printer?
My son owns a very juvenile one that he loves to play with.
Yeah, I mean, so when this first came out years ago, I remember hearing about 3D printing, and I never imagined this would be in people's homes. But people actually have 3D printers, in their house now. I mean, it's affordable. You can get one for I think it was like the Christmas gift last year, right?
Wow.
I can't wrap my head around. I'm with
I'm
with you.
I'm trying to figure out like the little trinkets and toys and things they made like
Well,
originally, but I'm trying to think about a store and how that
the
works.
scale of that is mind-boggling.
So we get a lot of vendors at our
Yeah.
events because a lot of the craft shows and
Mhm.
artisan markets, people are printing 3D items, and we struggle sometimes, like, is this a handmade item if it's
Yeah.
being 3D printed? But it is. I mean, I think there is a certain level of artistry to it
Yeah,
because
I think so.
there some people design their own patterns for these
Mhm.
items, but when you're talking about 3D printing a store, it's just on a different level. So Starbucks, obviously the Seattle-based coffee chain, that has 17,000 locations in the U.S. A couple here in Mooresville that we probably hit up frequently. They just opened this new 3D printed store in Brownsville, Texas, and a computer-controlled robotic arm did much of the work by pouring one layer of concrete atop another. So the location is actually drive-through only, and it's one of the nation's few big retailers that is kind of dabbling in 3D printing for commercial construction. Builders right now mostly use the technology in residential construction, but they are looking to innovate and tackle an more affordable option to kind of help with the housing crisis. At first glance, they said that the compact rectangular building with the logo, it looks like any other Starbucks. But then when you look closer, you can kind of see the rigid walls that look like stacked tubes. So you can kind of tell, like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
this is different than other Starbucks. And then in general, they say that the construction using 3D technology still costs more than other traditional wood framing, but it does help address a labor shortage. That's a way to get something built faster. But they're hoping that the cost becomes more competitive with it. So
Are they going to use it to widen 150?
maybe
That would be awesome.
Maybe 150 will be 3D printed.
Hey, with AI or technology, you never know.
That's exactly what we need. I think Plyler got it right. We just need to start 3D printing roads around here. Maybe that'll solve everything. No, but that's pretty cool that we are at that phase now in
It's
this new
kinda
technology.
scary.
It is. It is a little bit scary.
Mhm.
I think I'll stick with the small little printers right now, and maybe I
And
might
like manual labor and people. And,
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think that's crazy. It's just a huge scale. Another announcement that I want to make, and you hear it. The press release went out today, so we can say it. We are finally able to announce our North Carolina Music Hall of Fame inductees,
I'm
and
excited.
yes, I'm super excited because we have 6 new inductees, but
Mhm.
one of them is Luke Combs.
You guys know Luke Combs?
Country artist Luke Combs coming to Mooresville
Yes.
October 16th at the Mooresville Performing Arts Center for the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So we'll be talking lots more about that, but you heard it here today. Buy tickets. They're on sale, northcarolinamusichallofame.org, and you can get those tickets and join us in October. But thank you all for joining us today. It's been a great show. You can always go to mooresvilleevents.com to see all of the events coming up. You can go to the town website at mooresvillenc.gov, find out information about all things going on in Mooresville. Thank you all. I hope you have a great week.
Thank you.